Yes, people, welcome to Premier League Primetime. We are back again with another. At this point, you could just call it a sideshow. I'm just gonna call it Latin. I call this live. We're gonna call this a Dave Anso show. Unless if anyone else thinks of a better name, feel free to leave it down below in the comments. But of course, as always, we are joined by the all-brilliant Gruner Gossip TV. How's everything going with you? No, it's been a short one. A short while. All's good with you, football aside?
Yeah, all good. I'm really looking forward to the show today, and yeah, love doing these type of videos. But yeah, how have you been as well?
Not great football outside of things, but like we were just saying moments ago, when things really get you down, I think to myself, it feels hopeless that my week's just gonna be devoid of any sort of laughs and smiles like people were doing to us last season. There's Tottenham Hotspur. There is Tottenham Hotspur, but speaking of Tottenham and midweek matches, Champions League football this week. Having a look at just some of the fixtures. Of course, there's only one. I mean, well, we'll say best for last. We'll say best for last. But of course, only one place to start with Arsenal. As I think most of us thought that they would go and get a result out in Leverkusen, but just didn't seem to happen for whatever reason. But Arsenal won, Leverkusen won. Arsenal getting out of there with a precious away goal to take back to the Emirates in the second leg. General thoughts on the match?
It really was bad. I'm not gonna lie. It was actually quite boring what I was watching. I think
boring. How could Arsenal be boring?
Yeah, how could? I'm gonna say that was really one of the worst ones I've seen this season. I mean, like you said, going into it, I was thinking, what would be maybe a professional win, like a 2-0, and I just don't think we ever showed up. I don't know. I just don't know why we played how we did. I do think that he needs to rotate a bit more, if I'm being honest, because these players are just burnt out. I mean, Timber, again, Ben White isn't available. You've got no one to rest Timber. Timber really needed a rest in that game. I think the midfield, you want to see Norgard play. You want to mix up a little bit. But yeah, to get
this kind of a game though. But then again, that's what Norgard was brought in for, I guess, to be the squad depth. But
it's difficult because obviously these are games that you've got to win if you do want to advance into the next round. But I think we needed a bit of a change. I know Saka as well was really poor.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about 24, 25 year old star boy. We will talk about Saka later on. But yeah, it was But I think for me, I've seen Saka have many poor games, but that for me has to be right up there for one of the worst that I've seen him in an Arsenal shirt ever. But I mean, then again, I would be blatantly lying to you and the audience if I said I watched that Arsenal game from minute 1 to minute 90. I'd be lying to you. I tried the best I could, people, but
I don't blame you.
Once again, I failed. I failed. But I did try. I really, really did. But yeah, just. But then again, but it could be worse. It could be worse. Could have Ruben Amorim in charge for 14 months. You could. But
God, can imagine that.
I don't need to imagine it. Yeah, but I don't need to imagine it. I lived it.
I'm glad that I didn't have to experience that.
No. No, honestly, no. There's not many people in this world that I wish someone like that on, because I may despise your football club with every fiber of my being at Liverpool and Man City, but for me, there's still it's few and far people that I wish someone of that, someone that negative upon anyone's football club. But sticking on with Arsenal though, was there any good performances, bright sparks at all, or was everyone just so below average?
You know what? Actually, Madueke was actually quite good. I don't know how long he came on for. I don't know if it was like 15, 20 minutes, but he came on and he actually looked quite good. And he just brought life into the game, which we actually needed. Obviously, it depends, what you think or what other people think. We did get a penalty, which he kind of worked for. To be honest with you, I was just surprised we got something out of the game.
Awful, terrible challenge. For me, that you could say maybe red card worthy. Awful.
Yeah, and obviously Havertz took it, and it was a penalty. I just thought I want this game to win, just get something out of this game because
I was saying the first part of what you just said there. I was saying the same thing. I just want the game to end.
Yeah, it was just one of those nights you just want to forget. I mean, I felt bad for the fans that actually travelled to watch that because it was bad.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. And this may sound very odd and very strange, but as much as I still believe that we can get top form, we'll talk about Man United later, right? In a way, I kind of want all the, at least most of the Premier League clubs to get to the next round so we can get the coefficient going into next season. Just in case, if my because if there's anything that my football club can do, it's just somehow just throwing it all away. And it's better to have a safety net there than not, but I still think we'll get top four regardless. But Bar Havertz, Bar Madueke, what did you think of the 11 going into the game?
Yeah, I was okay with that. I mean, I would have put Havertz in the team, but other than that, I think it was a decent lineup. But again, I was just sort of surprised how bad we were considering how strong the team was. So I think Arteta didn't do too much wrong with the lineup. We went quite strong with that. But I think maybe it's made Arteta realise or us realise that these players just aren't up for it at the moment. They're very tired. So I don't fault Arteta with the lineup. It was a strong lineup, and at this stage in the round of 16, you do have to go quite strong. But yeah, I just think the players just weren't up for it, which is a real shame because we could have finished that in that game and gone to the Emirates and rotated quite a lot. But obviously, it's level, so anything could happen really going into the next game.
No, definitely. I mean, with the penalty, right? Like, I have my own views on it. Right? I mean, on one side of it, if we're being completely honest here, let's not act like Noni, was on the receiving end of an awful challenge. Like, it's not like he didn't just the contact happened to just take place. But I mean, using his big footballing brain that costs just over £50 million. I mean, think that someone would assume, or a winger of his stature would assume that some contact would potentially happen in that kind of situation. But you could say he dived, you could say not. But for me, just Malik Tillman, just if I'm Casper Kuhlmann, the coach of Leverkusen, I'm absolutely fuming. I'm Remember, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but I mean, if you do happen to know or remember of this, do you know the story of Ferguson? I forgot after what game it was, but he threw a boot at Beckham's head. If I were Casper Tillman, that's exactly what I'd be doing to Malik Tillman, because this is like introductory courses in football. Don't go to ground in the box or anywhere near the box because you're giving the referee a decision to make. because bar that, Arsenal, unsurprisingly, just weren't, just really, really weren't threatening in front of goal. But yes, of course, bar set pieces, which, again, Martinelli is not that scary. Trossard, when he starts to play 90 minutes, he's not that scary. Victor Gyökeres, maybe, scary in height, but he's not that scary either. Doesn't look like it's working out for Eze at the moment. But if it was Tottenham, then yeah,
it would work out. Yeah.
Then it would probably all work out. But it really was a poor performance from Arsenal. But what changes would you make going into the second leg?
Stuff. I mean, it depends, I suppose, that how we do. We got Everton tomorrow, so
that's going to be a difficult game as well.
Yeah, I think for the second leg, I think if everyone's fit, it's so difficult. I mean, I think with with Fire and goal, the back four, I think you got to go Timber, Gabriel Saliba, and then Hincapié. The midfield, I think you could make a few changes. I mean, I was still sick with Declan Rice, Stephen Mendy. Maybe
it's still just he looks so worn out.
I know.
For me, and as much as I don't want you lot winning the title, I mean for the English lads, for at least looking at the World Cup ahead, I need Declan to be fit. Saka just doesn't seem like he's got any legs now. But I need those English lads, regardless of where they're playing, to be fit.
Because that's the thing, because it's so much football. Like they're gonna be, by the time it's the time for the summer, like you said, these players are gonna be tired and they'll want a rest, and then they have to keep going into another tournament. I mean, I think if we did make a change in midfield for the game against Everton, whatever whether it's Havertz in midfield or Norgard, if that worked, then I would probably use that for the next leg. But I think we need to make some changes in the attack, to be honest with you. I think I would go with Madueke on the right. You know what someone said? I'd be open to it just to change it up, but maybe even playing Eze on the left, just get Havertz in the team with Gyökeres, and I just think we need a different change in the attack, because again, you make a great point that Martinelli isn't scary. Like, some of these attacking players just aren't scary and they're very predictable. So I think we've got to change it up some way. So yeah, I think we just need to go for it in the second leg. I don't think the way we played, we just didn't go for it. So we I mean, I think if we go out now, I'd be a bit embarrassed at this stage, because we got to semi-finals last time, so we do have to get further than what we are at the moment.
Given where you are in, in the process, I should say, I think and assume that, and of course, Leverkusen's not, they're no easy game. I think they have the best defensive record in the Bundesliga right now. I think they're either first or second right now, and so. They're definitely not going to be, any simple rollover. And which, by the way, shout out Leverkusen, by the way. Any football club, no matter how long they have to endure it, any football club that that wins their freedom against footballing terrorism, the absolute fraud, Ten Hag, loved how he was brought in and then sacked after 3 games. So shout out Leverkusen. I'm not gonna, we'll never forget about that. By the way, just in case if anyone's actually somehow forgot or just didn't even know that yes, Ten Hag was the manager for the first 3 games, and thankfully for Leverkusen, and thankfully for Leverkusen, only the first 3 games. Which I mean, I was hearing some of the moment he got to the football club. Apparently, Granit Xhaka was doing it. Come and get me, please, to just anyone, any takers. And I'm thinking to myself, Xhaka, I hear it. And I
You want
hear it.
saving?
I hear anyone who's doing a come and get me plea. Hincapié doing up the, come and get me please. I hear it. I hear it. Almost anywhere is a better place to play football than playing under that fraud. But we'll see what happens in the second leg. I mean, it will be interesting. Arsenal are actually, going to have to, take initiative and, and attack.
Yeah,
which
is hard.
I could probably predict how at least one of those goals are going to be scored if there's multiple. I mean, I feel like it's a given that a set piece will be scored. It just feels inevitable. But it would be very funny if Leverkusen someone gets something out of this. But the one thing we'll say about Eze, right? This is what I felt like, and yes, on the banner side of things, he dodged a major bullet going to Tottenham, but he probably would be, not struggling as much if he went there because, basically the entirety of their attack would be, built around him, and he'd have the free roll like he had at Crystal Palace, and that's not how it works at Arsenal, unfortunately. I mean, up until a few weeks ago, unless if your names are Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka, freedom for attackers does not exist. So, and for me, up until lately, I mean, we have seen Eze played out on the left hand side. I mean, better than I would, but in those performances, for me, they didn't look great. And he looked better just in the 10, but
he does. Yeah,
I mean, it's something to try. I mean, if there is one thing about Arteta, that I can give him. I mean, he is innovative to a certain extent. I mean, everyone now thinks Mikel Merino is a solution at striker because of last season, and I mean, hey, shout out Merino because he probably is one of your best strikers right now.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's scary. Unlike Martinelli, it's actually scary to think about it, that he's one of your best strikers or one of your best number 9 options.
That came out of nowhere for me. I think we just tried it and it just worked. And I thought, wow. I do think we miss him a little bit, but he's not. I think he's just someone that you'd bring on off the bench and that could get you a goal when you need one. But I think in midfield he wasn't very good. So I think up top he definitely is much better. But I think our attack's struggling so much this season, and I think I don't know. Some games we can play good and we look convincing. Other days we do rely on those set pieces. I mean, if it gets us a win, then it doesn't really matter. But
and
we do want to go out there. We do want to play it better. Yeah.
At this point, as everyone knows me, as much as I love, my 11 out of 10, champagne football, and my aesthetics and my technical ballers. At this point, I don't care how the ball goes in. 3 points. I need 3 points. Every single game, especially for us, is a cup final till the end of the season. So 3 points is all that matters, especially for you as well, given the title race and all that. Quickly before we just do a quick roundup of the rest of the Champions League games, I don't know where he is, but where is Martin Odegaard? And no, I'm not talking about him in big games, but like where is he? Like I've not seen him on the bench or like anywhere. Like is he injured or?
It's all been quite like a mystery, to be honest with you. But from what I've read, he is injured, but he might be back for the game against Everton. But I don't even know what injury he has. It feels very quiet, in private online. So I think Arsenal,
something's off about it.
Yeah, he's had he's never got going this season. He's had so many different injuries, and I just feel like the player he was years ago is like a different player now. He looks tired. He just physically doesn't seem at
he
the
probably
level.
is tired from from the amount he just runs around everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, the player was a few years ago, and I mean, I mean, like, I thought to myself, I can't believe it, but part of me said, and but part of me thought, like, I'm not surprised. Someone, like, one of my mates just the other day was literally, DMing me on about, oh, throw back to this Martinelli 22-23. I miss him so much, and I'm just like, we're still talking about Gabriel Martinelli from how many seasons ago?
We should have moved on. I think in the summer we should have moved on from him. I mean, it's so tiring, having these same conversations with everyone, because like you said, we should have done this a long time ago. And I think what a lot of fans do have, I'm sure you guys have it as well, but you have these emotional connections with these players, but you have to take yourself from
Mhm,
that and be ruthless. And I
mhm.
think some fans are
And to
just,
just be real,
yeah, just
I
connected.
hear
And
with I hear with Bruno every single second of every single day. The Bruno stands and those who are just tuning in now from Hungry Gossip TV's audience over there. If this is the first show, the first of shows you're ever seeing, for those who are somehow new and haven't been sleeping under a rock, Bruno is someone for me. I am on the unpopular side with Bruno, that he's
yeah,
not as that he's not as world class and as creative and this magician that everyone makes him out to be. The guy's not stop fighting and getting his GNA. He's doing absolutely nothing. And that Newcastle game was the perfect example as to how Bruno will always find a way to cost us games. And he was at fault for both goals, by the way, because of that rubbish for Acuna in the first place, which caused us to lose the ball and then get countered. And then everyone just, because Malacia somehow still exists and he come off the bench to try and track back on who was Osula in it before that absolute wonder strike. Everyone just decided, let's just blame Malacia. He's the easy scapegoat, just because. Let's not blame Harry Maguire, who starts to step towards the player, but then just decides just to back away for God knows what reason. So,
yeah,
I hear it.
it is quite frustrating, isn't it? Because I think, especially when they're not consistent throughout the season, and it's difficult because I think people, like you said, they do have these connections with players, but you've got to kind of distance yourself from that. And
Mhm.
yeah, I think, do you love the player more? Do you love the club more? I mean, I love Saka, but I love
Mhm.
Arsenal more. But, I
I've
do
convinced
hope with,
some fans like Bruno, like more than the actual football club.
yeah,
Like all they care about is Bruno, and the manager stands too.
yeah,
Even now to this day, I'm still seeing all of this. I don't know why, of all players, like Kobe Mainu is still like the Ruben Amorim stands are, the moment we lost the game to Newcastle, I knew that they were going to be active, and they've been active
yeah.
since we've lost that game, and it's just so insufferable. Like, it's just like, just grow up, just give me a break, man.
It's exhausting. I get you. Yeah.
It's actually terrible. But and speaking of terrible, let's talk about how the rest of the English teams did in the Champions League. We'll go to Newcastle first, but I mean, with Newcastle, you could say that they were very unlucky to not
Yeah.
get the point, or to get massive when going into the second leg. A lot of my Barca mates were telling me, oh, Newcastle, let's do what we did in the first leg. Although one of my mates, shout out Novak's football. He despises Marcus Rashford to every single level. I mean, mainly because, I mean, for what? For like an entire 8-9 months when he was linked to them, I just send him, and any posts, regardless of how credible the sources was, I'd just DM him the post. Just
I love that.
every day. If there was a Photoshop, if there was like a graphic with Rashford in a Barca jersey, I just DM it straight to him. And you're someone who's never liked Rashford anyways. And and you tell me, we're not signing Rashford. It's never going to happen. You told me that for like near enough a year. But it makes it all the funnier when it actually did happen. So, he doesn't really count that game, even though Rashford was the one who scored the 2 goals. But he thought that Newcastle would be a rollover again. And he learned that, why it's such a tough place to go this time around. But Newcastle should have had, they should have had so many more goals.
They were good. Yeah, they should have. I felt bad for them actually going away from that.
It's one of his worst performances that I've ever seen him. For me, he's the best player in the world right now. Like for me, like the guy gets GNA, and the guy's magic to watch as well. I mean, the composure that he had to take that penalty. I mean, hey, for a night that wasn't great.
Yeah.
I mean, credit to him.
Yes, high pressure moment as well.
No, it is. But we'll see what happens in that second leg. That will definitely be interesting. Let's see who we have next. Oh, Liverpool. Yeah. Losing to Galatasaray, for the second time actually, this season, losing 1-0. Their midfield got bullied I'd say, most of their team got bullied.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna read off some of the names, right, of this Galatasaray, team sheet, right? Bench and starting 11. And just to let you know, yes, this is 2026. Just to let you know. Just some of the names you got here, right? We got Davinson Sanchez in at centre back. Mario Lemina. Lucas Torreira. Shout out Troops. Lucas Bloodclot Torreira. Shout out my guy Troops every single time. We got Noah Lang. Who else we got? Flipping Mauro Riccardi. Leroy Sané. Ilkay Gundogan. Sasha Bowie. Yes. These are some of the players, just a few, that played in the side that beats Liverpool and starred in the side that beat Liverpool. Lamine and Torreira bullied Liverpool's midfield of Gravenberch and McAllister, which, for me, that I definitely found that funny. As much as I find the prospect of Liverpool going out, I need at least most of these clubs to go on to the next round for the sake of the coefficient. That's the only reason. So, I wouldn't mind if Liverpool just, done a job at Anfield in advance. But did you happen to see the game? Or see any of it?
I watched the highlights back, and I was, I saw it was 1-0 quite early on, and I thought, Liverpool will get back into this, and they just never did it. I think they just weren't good enough, were they? I think you could really see the levels between both of them teams. I will be interested to see, though, how Liverpool will do in a second leg, being at home.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Liverpool maybe getting a win, but I think to be losing 1-0 in the first leg, it's not the best. And
no,
I don't know. I don't think Liverpool.
It's a tough place to go to be fair.
Yeah, the atmosphere looked quite, electric.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, they look quite like a tough one to play.
I would know, playing away nights in the Champions League at Galatasaray. Shock. I would have experience in having PTSD over that. I don't like talking about the goalkeeper who used to be our number one. I don't like talking about that guy because he gives me some traumatic flashbacks to that Galatasaray game. Actually, and we know not just the away fixture, but the home fixture as well. Both of those games. No, I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name for my own sake because because he's on loan over there in Turkey, but apparently they don't want him. So I'm petrified just in the summer, just seeing the preseason training pictures and front cover is just going to be him, all smiles.
It's the PR that they do.
I don't even want to see him. I don't even want him around like Le Mans. Because kind of like what happened with Gabriel when he first arrived, seeing some of the the top defenders like Kolasinac and Mustafi, and we know how them
Oh, that
are,
was
and
bad.
flipping Callum Chambers and Holding, and like you could see him getting progressively worse the more he's around them.
Yeah,
Like,
when you're around
I
bad
fear the
players, you
same
just get
thing.
worse.
I don't even want them in. I don't even want them in the canteen together. No. Like maybe remember, maybe you don't, but like the kind of things that Ten Hag was doing to Sancho in regards to like how isolated away from the first team you need to be. Yeah, that's exactly what this football club needs to do with that goalkeeper. I don't want him anywhere near my number one, because if he's in and around him, I won't be surprised if I see Le Mans dropping a few absolute howlers of performances. I just don't want to run that risk.
It's really
But
interesting though, because like you said, I remember when Mustafi was here with Gabriel. It's like when you play with bad players, they do make you worse. They don't make you better at
no,
all. It is crazy how that works.
definitely. And just like again, one of the more recent fan favorite scapegoats. He had to, when Casemiro was out, he's had to play with Bruno and Ugarte every week, and Kobe Mainu got blamed, and I'd feel pretty low in confidence too if Ugarte is getting picked out of me. Remember the reports? Cole Palmer apparently was homesick. If I'm Cole Palmer, I'd feel homesick too. If I'm playing with Neto and Garnacho and Delap every week, I'd feel homesick too. I'd feel pretty homesick. I wouldn't want to be there. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Honestly, if there are any good performers in the Liverpool game, I don't know. I mean, maybe Kirk Hesselwood was already. He's been one of the better players as of late. They call him the Hungarian Gerrard, but I'm calling him the Hungarian James Milner. Shout out James Milner, by the way. He's a baller still. Dominic Szoboszlai, that's one of his worst performances that I've seen. There was one thing that surprised me, though, before we move into the next game. There was one thing that surprised me. Cody Gakpo started on the bench. He actually didn't start. Like, I was stunned. Like, like Arne Slot not starting Cody Gakpo is like Ruben Amorim playing with a back four, or Ruben Amorim not picking Diogo Dalot. Like you just think it's so genuinely impossible. Like you can't even think of like, oh, what ifs.
Yeah.
Like, I know, I was just genuinely surprised. But
that was.
Liverpool
I was surprised at that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was surprised.
They got absolutely fried on this game. Quickly looking at some of the other fixtures that happened. Bodo Glimt, will the fairy tale go on? I mean, they beat Sporting 3-0. I mean, any at least for the time being. At least as of right now. I mean, any side battering Sporting, I'm all in favor for. Given the recent managerial connections, and all that, it's not as bad as Ajax. So it's definitely not as bad as Ajax. We didn't give Sporting near 200 million worth of fees. Next, let's see who else played. Chelsea, the world champions. Whether you like Robert Sanchez or not, he's been one of their better players this season, and it's not great, but he's been the better of the two goalkeepers. And I do have to say, he's not been too bad.
He's had some good moments.
He's definitely been significantly improved. But Liam Senior decided to go and play the football that he's been playing with Chelsea in the Premier League, and I think he might have had a brain freeze and might have forgotten that this is the European champions, and for me, the best pressing team on the planet right now.
Yeah, they are.
And between what Jorgensen was doing in goal and Liam Senior's naive tactics, I mean, Kavica Kvaratskhelia we need a left winger. On my life, if these owners wrote me a blank check, for a left winger. I'm getting him. Like, for me, he's the best left winger in the world. Like, he was absolutely phenomenal in that game. I mean, the goals aside.
Yeah.
What did you make of the game? Whether it's PSG, Chelsea, anything that's you, if you saw or caught any of the game?
Yeah, I watched the highlights as well for that one, and yeah, I mean, Chelsea were in the game for a little bit, weren't they? Because the score was quite close, and then PSG just ran away with it, and it just shows you how far Chelsea need to actually go. And I know they've won stuff, but PSG just were levels above them, I thought, in that game. I mean, to get beaten 5-2, it's quite bad, to be honest with you. It just shows you that Chelsea, weren't dead just yet. Chelsea, weren't terrible. They were competing for a little
No,
while.
they weren't too bad.
Yeah, but I think if you look at that scoreline, it tells you otherwise. But I think PSG just have that quality, and they just are better than Chelsea right now. Chelsea just, they've got a new manager. They've had many new managers over these past years, but yeah, I think it just wasn't their day really with the quality PSG have. I just think it's just better than what Chelsea have right now.
I think for me that's tied on.
Yeah, I don't think Chelsea are coming back from that.
No, yeah, like I said, and again, like similar to what I was saying about Arsenal, like I'm looking to their bench from the opposing side. Liam Delap. I mean, bar maybe just his size, he's not scary. I mean, Garnacho. I mean, the only thing for me that's scary about Garnacho is just having to watch him play for a football club. I mean, it's scary for what that does to my mental health. In regards to him, and yeah, from an attacking quality standpoint, he's not scary. He's just not. And Pedro Neto, yeah, he's not scary either. So when you have them three, it's kind of in the bin for you. But
yeah, I think with Chelsea, I don't really expect them to go far in the Champions League because I just don't think they're there yet. I mean, don't see them really coming back from this. I mean, if they did, that would be quite impressive, but I just don't think they will.
And Chelsea fans, even the other day we're telling me about, never write Chelsea off. We're always, don't write us off in cup competitions, blah blah blah. We have the elite, DNA mentality, and I'm just like, the elite mentality and DNA in these tournaments, lots of it, I think, left with Maresca probably, and with some of these.
They're not the Chelsea they used to be. That's the thing. Chelsea, maybe 10 years ago, would win these games. Chelsea just aren't what they used to be. I don't think fans are ready to accept that.
And I got football fans saying that what? I'm a flipping nostalgia merchant. Yeah, but yeah, I still hear about Chelsea and knockout competitions. Just the only thing that they're going to be knocking out are themselves.
In the Champions League.
Tournament. No, quite literally. Having a look at, let's see. For me, the biggest surprise. Not that I wouldn't think Real Madrid are capable, but for me, the way Real Madrid bullied Man City and destroyed them 3-0, which I mean, for me, that should have been 4 with the penalty, at least. What'd you make of that game?
That surprised me actually, because I think when you look at Man City and Madrid, you would think it would be quite a close game, but that
given who's available as well for Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested to see if the second leg, how that's going to go, because I mean, Man City, it's difficult. I mean, Man City will want to win the Champions League, so I expect them to put up more of a fight. I don't know, how do you see the second leg going? Because I think when you're 3-0 up, is it kind of done?
I see this only going in one way. Knowing the haramities that Real Madrid, play in the style of football that they implement, for me, especially if they get Mbappe back, they'll put Mbappe and Vini up front, and they'll just sit behind the ball.
Yeah,
for me,
it'll make it hard.
for me, just Pep's done a Pep. Pep's done it again. What I do constantly all the time in football and life outside of football, just overthinking and overcomplicating literally everything.
Yeah.
Mo, our Man City representative on our panel here, told me moments before the game started, that Semenyo, he's playing the 10 at Bournemouth. Easy 3-1 Man City win. I'm gonna say, you sure? You sure this is gonna go the way you're thinking? And he goes, oh yeah, of course. He's quite the confident lad, and yeah, and we all saw how that went. In which what was I gonna say? Oh, before I forget, quickly on Chelsea. I mean, at least there's one positive. Reece James basically gifting the rest of his career to Chelsea, which.
Yeah, I saw that.
If I'm Reece James, I'm submitting the transfer request first thing in the morning, because he's way too good to be playing for Chelsea. But I mean, shout out to him. I mean, loyalty is a very rare thing in football. I just wish the loyalty applied, more so with Mason Mount too. But things happen in football, I guess. But for me, I see the second leg going in one way for me. I mean, especially if Real Madrid get an early goal or any goal at all to go in front, for me, I think that's tied done. And I mean, for me, I think Man City now are just going to more focus on the Premier League at this point. I mean, of all the teams, I wouldn't mind. I definitely wouldn't mind if Man City got knocked out for the obvious reasons. I definitely wouldn't mind that at all. And everyone else can go through. If Man City go out, that's fine by me.
Yeah.
But last but not least, before we just do a quick Premier League preview, glory Tottenham Hotspur, man. Just I can always rely on Tottenham to give me a good laugh. And one thing that I am going to do right now, actually, shout out to our Tottenham rep on your shout out Andre, but I'm gonna expose the group DMs for some of the nonsense that they use trying to do. So yesterday he drops in the chat, he goes, of course he's in a bad mood. I get it. He's a Tottenham fan, and he knows that I rate Jadon Sancho. So he just drops Xavi Simons over Jadon Sancho, and I'm just like, okay, and I'm just like, Kobe's better than your entire midfield. This guy really tried to come back and say, isn't that the guy who's just a worse Pape Sarr? Talk to me when Kobe cooks my whole team in a final. And yeah, and again, I gave him one of these. I don't blame you. That's the kind of offense that he committed. Honestly. And on my life, Ruben Amorim, you'll be in up forever. You'll be in up forever, because that's now going to give them a reason to talk spicy for the rest of existence. Honestly, because of that guy. Honestly, they should build a statue of Ruben Amorim and Harry Kane next to each other, because they brought Tottenham so much glory, man. Honestly, but Tottenham. I mean, you know what? I'll throw this one to you. Where do you want to start with this? Because I mean, where do we start with this? Do we start with the bit Igor Tudor? The most bizarre managerial appointment. Do we start with Kinski?
There's so much to it's
Manuel Neuer regen. Shout out to Andre, by the way. When they signed him. Yes, Manuel Neuer regen. Yes, you heard that correctly.
Sure, I don't even know where to start with that. I didn't think Tottenham would win, but I don't think they'd get battered like that. That was really bad. The goalkeeper situation wasn't great.
It's had 20 minutes or something like that? That's
I don't know why they started him in goal, to be honest with you. It's just not the game that you would do that.
I'll say this, right, to kind of be devil's advocate, right? And it's hard to be devil's advocate with this, but like Vicario, I don't rate Vicario. Vicario is rubbish in my opinion. I just don't see
Yeah, I
it.
don't
Which,
think
of course, in contrast, Andre loves Vicario just for whatever reason. I don't know, but that's fine. I'm glad he likes Vicario. It is what it is. And Tottenham fans have been saying, drop Vicario. Like, he needs to be dropped. The manager doesn't do it for any of the Premier League games, but no, he waits and decides. Champions League round of 16 game against Atletico Madrid away from home. You know what? That's the game I'm going to experiment and play Kinski in goal. Like, in those situations, it's like, as much as Vicario is not good, like, between them two, you just have to play Vicario. Like, you have to play Vicario in a situation like that. As much as it's not great at all. As much as it's not great. Like, you can't just throw Kinski in goal, who I don't even remember the last time he played. I think he lost playing the FA Cup against Villa, maybe even before that.
I felt so bad for him, honestly. It was.
I did feel sorry for him, but the manager made the right decision. Just because
it was
when
you
see
worse.
something like that, you can't leave him on. And some people are saying, "Oh, that's gonna hurt his career," blah blah blah. And yeah, this is definitely going to traumatize him for the rest of time. But just for the sake of for the football club and just getting out, so at least somewhat alive. Because I mean, for me, 5-2, that score is a bit generous for what could have happened in that game.
Yeah.
Am I surprised Tottenham died after 20 minutes? No, I'm not. I mean, they play Liverpool this weekend. I mean,
hope Liverpool can. I'd love Liverpool to win. Yeah, I don't often say that, but
for the top, I need Liverpool to lose for the top 4 battle. But for me, I'm not asking. But I mean, for me, I look at this. It's like, what's the point? I'm not going to ask anyone any favors. Like, for me, the only thing I'm interested in is going to be how many goals does Liverpool score before halftime. That's all I'm interested in, for me. So, I mean, that game. I mean, there's so many things wrong with this Tottenham team. I mean, apparently Romero's world class because Messi said it once. Apparently Van de Ven gets into any squad in the world. I'm just trying to think of some of the things the Tottenham fans have said. One of my favorites. Maybe I mentioned it last time. Maybe I didn't. Apparently, Dominic Solanke. Yes, the same Dominic Solanke that flopped at Liverpool, that flopped at Chelsea. That was signed for £60 million from Bournemouth. Yes, that Dominic Solanke has shades of R9. Yes, Ronaldo Nazario, the R9 Brazilian Ronaldo Nazario. He has shades of R9 in his game. Yes, yes. I have things like that.
He should have stayed at Bournemouth at this rate. You probably would have had a better career there. It's not good. I think that was a big mistake. I do like him, but I don't think he's.
No,
he's not someone that's at that
Premier
level.
League striker, and that's it. Like,
he's a good Premier League striker. All he is. He's not going to take you to another level. He's going to get you goals, but he's not.
But because Solanke always scores against my football club, it's Dominic Solanke is just the greatest thing on earth. And again, people wonder why part of me wants to see Tottenham relegated because Tottenham beating us in the European Cup final, like the footballing gods have to like balance it out a little bit, if you know what I mean. Like they kind of have to balance it out. Like Tottenham getting relegated for me, like that would be the footballing gods just
that would be incredible.
Balancing things out.
I'd love that.
You lot winning the league and Tottenham getting relegated. I mean, yeah, I think word to Frank Lampard, support someone else. That's exactly what these Tottenham fans just might be doing if that happens.
Do you know what? Actually, with Tottenham, I mean, it was bad with Thomas Frank, but I don't know if it would have been better for them.
Worse. It's actually gotten worse.
I do think, in hindsight, Thomas Frank wasn't the guy, but should they have just kept him to the season? Like, they've not really brought the best person to replace him, have they?
For me, I remember back in the back in the season 3 of Ten Hag, and we saw what happened, by the end of the season with that absolute charlatan in charge, that Portuguese charlatan. The amount of people that are asking me, oh, you should have kept, a Ten Hag. Steve, would you have kept Ten Hag? And my answer is, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Like,
yeah,
Thomas Frank needed to be gone, and he was let go far too late. Ten Hag was let go far too late. I mean, he should have been gone. Like Van Gaal got sacked after an FA Cup final with a far worse squad that literally was playing academy youngsters and players you may have even forgotten about. Paddy McNair, flipping, who else? Tyler Blackett, Donald Love, Guillermo Varela. Just bare throwbacks. Bare Premier League throwbacks to like 10 years ago. And an injury-hit squad. And a team that had literally zero depth in any position, bar goalkeeper. Van Gaal got that team an FA Cup and finished 5th. Only on goal difference. And Ten Hag finished in 8th, got minus goal difference in the Champions League, a 0 goal difference in the Premier League. And of course the managerial stands struck again after he won the FA Cup, which is they wrote letters to Ineos begging Ineos, demanding that they keep Ten Hag. I mean, I'm sure the whole league, we're all up in arms and in celebration for that. But I thought he was surely gone after that FA Cup, and
I did,
so I mean, for me, I see this in a similar situation. Like, sticking with Thomas Frank would have, without a doubt, probably have them in the relegation zone by now. But how they're not, it's down to other teams. But he still should have gone anyways. Anything else to say on this game before we just do a quick, relatively quick Premier League preview?
I think that's it really. I mean, can you imagine the second leg? Like, I just can't imagine what will happen for Tottenham on the second leg. But I think I don't even think they've hit rock bottom yet. I think they're just gonna get worse. Which
wait, I did do have something interesting. Our panel group chat was going on about this the other day, and we were talking about, if Tottenham were to go down, right? Obviously, they're gonna have to do like a, literally gonna do, a clear out, and a whole clear out of players. They're gonna be forced to sell players that they may not want to sell. Also, a huge part of that was, the same guy that that Portuguese charlatan wanted to get rid of Kobe for $200,000 a week and £35 million signing Conor Gallagher.
I can't believe that as well. Do you know what, as well? I really can't stand Richarlison. I think he's...
Oh, yeah.
He can score at times, but he's not worth the hype for me. I just don't think he's anything special, really.
The last time I really gave Richarlison any hype or praise was his Everton days.
He was actually not bad at Everton,
But Richarlison is one of many. That's just big fish in a small pond.
You know what? He was really good there. He should have just stayed.
I'll say this about Richarlison, right? I actually think Richarlison's actually all right technically. I think technically, he's at least half decent. I actually do think he's an all right to decent footballer. Just fundamentals wise, but quality and end product, just not there. Absolutely not.
It's just consistency. He just isn't going to get you what you need. I mean, the signings Tottenham have made as well, it's not going to help you. Slanky and him aren't going to get you anything. So, I think they're good finishes, but they're just not consistent enough.
No, definitely not. And quickly, just looking at some of the Premier League games. Tomorrow, first match of match week 30 for me. This is the one I'm definitely the most excited for. Burnley hosting Bournemouth at Turf Moor. For me, for me, this is gonna be an all-timer game. All-time high goal scoring game.
Yeah.
Any predictions you have for this one? Things that you may expect?
Do you know what? I could see like a 2-2 or something with that. Because, I mean, Burnley are right down. They're not going to stay up, but it makes them more exciting. They've not got anything to fight for, but they will give it a good go. They're quite hard to play against as well. So yeah, I think it'll be a 2-2. I think it'll be quite an interesting game from both sides. What about you?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, for me, Burnley have nothing to play for, and Bournemouth are just one of the teams that kind of like Crystal Palace. They're at a certain point where it's like they don't really have anything to play for, but I'd say Crystal Palace less so, but Bournemouth are, for me, relatively, in comparison to the teams below them, like they're in a okay or comfortable position, like far enough away from the relegation spots that they can just chill for the rest of the season. So, I can see this game actually, in a draw or maybe just a narrow Bournemouth one, but who knows? Sunderland and Brighton.
Ooh,
that for me actually is going to be, fairly interesting.
That's going to be a tough one. I reckon it would be like a 2-1 to either of them, because I know Sunderland have got a few wins recently, but they were on a roll at the start of the season and they've dropped off a bit.
They're still not far from
no, they're still in
European places. Like that's how close the league is. Like
it's crazy.
I think they're in 11th or something like that, and they're still like 3-4 points off.
Yeah, they're 11th, which is actually good because like 3 teams are on 40 points, so it's very close there. So yeah, I think they need a win, but I think it's Brighton as well. Let me see where Brighton is. They're 14th.
Brighton, Munich as well.
Yeah, I think it'll be 2-1 to one of the teams, but I think it'll be quite an exciting game because they've both got things to fight for in the league, haven't they?
No, definitely. And for me, before we move to the next game, I think the most important thing for Sunderland, is that Fabian Hurtzler gives, his seal and statement of approval to the style of football that they play. I think that's the most important. I mean, seeing what happened with, Mikel Arteta, which apparently, even today, like the reports come out in like a press conference saying that Hurtzler texted Mikel Arteta, and I'm just like, wait, how does he have Mikel Arteta's number? I found that, I found that funny, found that kind of crazy, kind of mad, but Chelsea, Newcastle. I mean, if Newcastle want to do me any favors, winning that game would be nice. I wouldn't mind that. But what are you saying? What are you thinking for this game?
That'll be quite tough, actually. I never know what you get from Newcastle because they can play really good in other games. They just really struggle to get anything out of it. I think Newcastle need to really get something out of it. Chelsea will want to get that top 4 spot. So I think it could be like a 1-1. I think it'll be a very close game, actually. But yeah, Newcastle needs to really get that table. So I think it'll be a draw.
All right, fair enough. Arsenal against Everton. Apparently, I think Everton's the best away record in the league this season.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
They are really, really good away. But then again, they played us away, but we all remember what happened in that game against Everton, which for me, I think for all the results this season, if I can't choose Grimsby, then I'd probably say that between that, the West Ham game at home and the Wolves game at home were like the 3 most humiliating, embarrassing results of the season. But I'd probably say Everton tops that. Given two players decided to have a fight with each other. One, they go down to 10 men, and they still win. And we all know.
I didn't realize they had such a good record away. I think I think we'll probably just nick it. Like, I'm thinking 2-1, but I'm not feeling comfortable that it's going to be like a comfortable win. But
they're going to make it difficult.
yeah, it's going to be quite difficult actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll go 2-1. I think we'll just edge it. But what about you? How do you see the game going?
You know what? I could see Arsenal dropping points.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
in a draw.
surprised.
Because Everton tried doing the same, thing to us when we played them at Goodison with the set pieces. They I think I said a while ago, they took out of Arteta or Nicholas Jover's set pieces handbook, isn't it? So, West Ham hosts Man City. Somerville's out, which is a big blow for them. I mean, still Mateus Fernandes, playing well. Bowen's looking lively again. Tati Castellanos is, all right, but a West Ham team that's got fight. They're fighting for the lives at the bottom. They've been in decent form. What do you think? What do you think of this game?
I reckon Man City will win 2-1, but I do think West Ham are going to put up a big fight because I do think in this one, West Ham have been getting a few draws, a few wins, and they've had a few better results. So I don't think it's going to be easy, but I just think because of Man City's quality that they have in the attack as well, I just think that they'll get this one done. But I wouldn't be surprised if West Ham got something out of it because they just need to push up that table. It's so close. A few of the teams are on 28 points, so they just need to push up and win. So I think it'll be quite a close game, actually.
No, fair enough. I think Man City will probably just nick it. I think. Palace at home to Leeds. I feel like this is going to be like the nothing game of.
Yeah, like a 0-0.
Yeah, like this for me feels like the nothing game. Actually, wait, no, it's all a lie. Leeds, like they're not like in serious danger, but they're somewhat close to the relegation spots. Like,
yeah, they're not.
They're not like they're not like fully out of it, but I'd say they're, for me, I think they're fairly safe, but they're definitely not like fully out of it. Which I mean,
yeah, I mean, Crystal Palace are 15th in there. Sorry, Crystal Palace are 13th and Leeds are 15th. So it's they're both, I think they're both, they're definitely going to stay up Leeds, but I think they sort of need to get something out of this game to get up that table. I mean, a point wouldn't be the best, but I think if they can just, I think they'll stay up. I think Leeds have done fairly good. I think they've got points from big teams. I see this one being a draw, actually, like maybe a 1-1, something like that. I think, I just think Crystal Palace. They've struggled this season, so I don't think it's going to be like an exciting game, but I think it'll be a draw, this one.
Yeah. For me, this is not going to be one I'm going to be enthralled in watching.
Yeah.
A potential match of the week contender. Just looking at the fixtures. Man United at home to Aston Villa, a top 4, or you could even say a top 3 6-pointer. What are you saying for this game? Do you think we'll get 3 points at home, or do you reckon we draw points?
That's going to be so tough, actually. I think that's going to be quite a difficult game because, as you said, you're both so close in the league. I think Villa have
goal
dropped off a bit.
I think that separates us only. Yeah. Chelsea done us a big favor last week, so they helped. I see this either being 2-1 United or 2-2. I think it's going to be very close, but I think in all, like in general, you have been a lot better. So I think you might win this one. But again, Villa have actually done really well this season, and they'll want to stay in the top 4 spot. So I think it's going to be a close game. Like I think it's more likely to win for you guys, but again, I could see a draw happening. So I think you'll definitely get something out of this game for sure. No, we need to, especially in this game. We cannot drop points because Chelsea are now, fairly close to us. I think they're within like 3 points, I think, from us, or maybe even less. So, and I'm not trying to finish behind a team with, Neto, Garnacho, and Delap as an attack.
Yeah, don't blame
I'm
me.
just not. I'm really, really not. So, I don't think we lose. Especially, given, who's in charge, I definitely feel confident we'll get the job done. But again, anything can happen. We saw with Newcastle, but yeah, I think we'll probably just edge it. Forced at home to Fulham. I mean, this game may seem boring, but however, there's definitely much at stake. Forest are fighting for their lives at the bottom, and Fulham are still in contention for a European spot. So,
yeah, that's going to be quite a tough one. Yes, Fulham. Yeah, Fulham are 10th. Like Fulham, they're in a decent position actually. So, but Forest as well. They're just literally above the relegation zone. So, I don't know. This one's going to be quite tough. I've actually got a feeling maybe Forest might get something out of this one. I think Forest, so tough with Forest. You just never know. They can get good results sometimes, and other times they do drop points. I'm going to go over 2-1 to Forest. I think they need a win, really, because they're obviously 17th on 28 points and West Ham 28 points. So I think Forest desperately need that win. Obviously, I expect Fulham to make it a difficult game, but Fulham are 10th. So they're in quite a good, not a bad position at all. So, yeah, I think it'll be quite an exciting game, actually, from both teams.
No, definitely. Last two games, Liverpool at Anfield host, Tottenham Hotspur. I feel like I probably know what at least two will get 3 points from this. I guess I'll say scoreline predictions.
I'm thinking like 2-0, 3-0 Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool haven't been great, but they do have some fantastic players, and I think because Tottenham are so bad, I just think I feel quite optimistic. But I do hope it would be nice.
They're genuinely so bad.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was watching that Crystal Palace game and I thought to myself, Crystal Palace weren't amazing, but Tottenham makes other teams look a lot better than what they are because they're so bad.
They'll find a way again. They'll find a way to lose the game themselves. I mean, literally, it's where we get typical Tottenham Spursy, this. Them winning a European Cup last season, going from that to getting relegated, for me, of all the things in the history, I can't think as of right now, in this very moment in time, I generally can't think of anything more Tottenham or more Spursy.
Yeah, that is
whether it's now the season or just their history than that, honestly.
Yeah,
Liverpool win this game. How many goals? I think it'll be at least 3.
I think so too.
Igor Tudor also loves the Ruben Amorim formation. And if you're playing Ruben Amorim football and Ruben Amorim systems, oh God, I even hate using that word to a certain extent. Yeah. Anything resembling Ruben Amorim, you're going to get battered. So simple as that. And last but surely not least, Brentford and Wolves, which something very interesting. Wolves may not finish bottom of the league, actually. I think they're only 3 points behind Burnley.
They're on 16 points and Burnley are on 19.
And Brentford are currently
they're 7th, yeah. That's going to be a tough one because Wolves actually haven't played too bad football this season. They've actually played quite good at times.
That's under Rob Edwards.
Yeah.
To be more specific.
So 16 points is actually better than what I actually thought they would get. Do you know what? I kind of see this one being a draw possibly because of Wolves, their form recently. I think it'll be like a 2-2. I think it'll be quite a high-scoring game. So, I mean, Brentford are in a really great position. They will want to go further because, for them to be 7th is actually really great for them. And wouldn't have expected them to be 7th. But yeah, I
Given
think
the
it'll be a
summer.
draw.
Yeah, fair enough. And yeah, so there you have it. There was a lot to cover, people. We reached the end of the show. And anything else you wanted to mention? Anything potentially you've forgotten? If not, feel free to tell our wonderful community here where they can all find you.
Oh, thank you for having me on. I've really enjoyed the show, and I'm looking forward to next week. But yeah,
Back on our
obviously,
channel, by the way,
yeah,
people.
obviously, if you do like what I've got to say, you know, my channel's Gonna Gossip TV, and that's where you can find me. I do obviously Arsenal content, previews, reviews. I do also get guests on and chat about their teams as well. So yeah, that is my channel. And again, thank you for having me on. And to those that are watching this, do subscribe, and yeah, hope you enjoy the content that we both do and that the channel does. So yeah, thank you for having me on again, and looking forward to next week.
As always, people. Yeah, link will be in the title or in the description, one of the two. And yeah, people, that is it. We're out of here. Take care of people, and peace.